The United States will continue to help Ukraine with weapons while maintaining the combat readiness of the US military, said Assistant Secretary of the Army for Acquisition, Logistics and Technology Douglas Bush.
The US Army is committed and will continue to succeed in maintaining stocks sufficient to train and keep the US Army ready while supplying our ally Ukraine with what it needs. Douglas Bush, US Assistant Secretary of the Army for Acquisition, Logistics and Technology, from an article of Voice of America.
The United States currently produces 24,000 artillery shells per month and plans to reach 80,000 per month next year.
It has already been stated in principle that by 2025 they will significantly increase the production of ammunition and thus will be able to replenish any of their stocks that are now in Ukraine. That is, the problem here is not so much that everything is running out, how much is that they were not preparing for just such a war, and they need to somehow change their industry, which in principle they are doing now, and this again takes a certain time.
The United States is providing Ukraine with $200 million in military aid, Reuters reports. The new package will include the mining equipment, ammunition for Patriot anti-aircraft missile systems, Javelin anti-tank systems, rockets for HIMARS, MLRS and other equipment. In parallel, the administration of the President of the United States is working on a request to Congress for additional funding to support Ukraine, in particular for the purchase and increase in the production of ammunition. Since the start of the full-scale Russian invasion of Ukraine, Washington has provided more than $66 billion in military, financial and humanitarian aid to Kyiv. According to the Washington Post publication, this support is the largest among all countries. More than $43 billion was allocated as military aid, and this is 65% of the total.
That is, in principle, this is a very old approach of American foreign policy, not to participate in the war directly, but to participate by providing appropriate assistance. We must understand that this is not something fundamentally new or unique for the United States. This is an implementation of the general US foreign policy line for a specific case.
The United States officially approved the transfer of the first batch of Abrams tanks to Ukraine. This was stated by the head of the Supply and Procurement Service of the US Army, Douglas Bush. According to him, the first tanks should arrive in Ukraine in early autumn. Douglas stressed that they would be delivered with everything needed: ammunition, spare parts, fuel equipment and repair facilities. How many tanks will be in the first batch is not specified. In total, the United States intends to supply Ukraine with 31 Abrams, that is, one tank battalion. Reported by Serhiy Kulas, Yulia Bil, UATV News.